Most Three Sisters gardens turn into an overcrowded mess. Collapsed stalks, shaded out squash, no airflow, and just a jungle you can't harvest. So I designed something different. I used south-pointing triangular mounds, where the tallest plants are on the north side. Sunflowers are added as a fourth sister for extra support. Squash is directed south so that it cascades down into the aisles instead of choking everything. And deliberate spacing so I can actually get in there and manage it. Here's exactly how I built it. First, the whole bed sits on top of a Hugel mound that's 7 feet wide and 40 feet long. If you're not familiar with this, a Hugel mound is buried logs and other organic material that's covered with soil. And as the wood breaks down, it feeds the plant slowly over years, and it retains moisture during dry spells. Choosing this spot with its long, narrow shape is intentional. It gives enough depth for corn pollination and trellising without becoming a blob you can't reach into. The soil on top has been neglected for years, so I threw the kitchen sink at it as far as amendments. Here's a brief rundown. First, I used a balanced organic fertilizer as a foundation. You can use a 5-3-4 or something similar. This provides the steady, even NPK throughout the season. I used blood meal, and this acts as a quick nitrogen boost. When corn and squash hit that rapid growth phase and the leaves start looking pale, a side dressing of blood meal gives it an immediate feeding. It's fast acting, and I apply it sparingly only when the plants tell me they need it. Kelp meal gives supplemental nutrients and seaweed-derived compounds. It's definitely not the main fertilizer, but it rounds out what the soil already has. Gypsum adds calcium and sulfur, and it helps to add soil structure. Not a cure-all, but useful here. Green rock adds slow mineral-based support. It's for long-term soil building, not instant food. Biochar deserves its own separate video, but just know that it locks in nutrients and slowly releases them. This was soaking in fish fertilizer for about a year. Okay, so here's where the design comes in. Corn is tall, sunflowers are taller. Beans climb. Squash spreads aggressively. Drop them all together without a plan, and you just get a wall of vegetation. Shaded, zero airflow, riddled with diseases. In a garden you just can't harvest without stepping on something. I learned this the hard way. I had to replant squash after this year's massive beetle damage early in the season. If everything had been randomly mixed together, pulling and replacing those plants would have meant trampling on everything. Organization isn't the opposite of a natural garden. It's what makes the natural relationships actually work. Here's how the mounds work in this system. They're triangle-shaped and south-pointing. The flat rear edge faces north, roughly 28 to 32 inches wide. The points extend about 3 or 4 feet south. And the mound heights are roughly 6 to 8 inches. Center to center between the mounds is about 4 or 5 feet. This leaves about 18 to 24 inches of open space between the rear edges. So what this does is it gives enough space for the sun to penetrate all the way through. It's also enough to let air move throughout, and enough to keep the north side from becoming one solid wall. That empty space isn't wasted. It's part of the design. Here's how I planted everything. Corn goes along the edges of the triangle, and it's planted in clusters, not a single row. And these clusters help with wind pollination. I used 3 different varieties distributed across the mounds. Sunflowers were planted along the north side. and they're integrated into the structure, not just a border. They're the fourth sister, so they add extra vertical support for beans, and they also work as a windbreak and another flowering plant attracting pollinators. The key here is to plant corn and sunflowers first, and then give them a few weeks to grow some structure that will support the beans and squash. The sunflowers I grew ended up looking like tree trunks. Beans go around the corn and along the mound edges. I planted 3 different kinds of pole beans. They climb the beans where it makes sense, and the sunflowers as well. But I didn't just pile a ton of beans into this. You have to think about distributing the weight once they get going. Squash sits between the mounds. Here's the thing, because I planted on the southern edge, the squash vines can naturally grow towards the sun and spill over the Hugel mound and into the aisle. I'm not fighting them, I'm giving them a direction. They get their own space and the corn and beans get theirs. I grew 3 kinds of winter squash, and I placed them selectively. Winter squash can take over fast. I was intentional about going light on how many I planted. You can also plant squash into fresh compost. As everything starts to grow, you can see why the triangles matter. They create 3 distinctive zones on the mound. The north side has tall crops, the center has that climbing zone, and the southern point allows squash to spread, not just through the system, but out into the aisles. Sunlight penetrates all the way through the south-facing wedge without hitting a wall of leaves. Air flows between the separated mounds. I can walk in, inspect, harvest, and handle problems without wrecking anything. The ultimate lesson here is this: more plants does not equal more food. Sometimes empty space makes the plants around it healthier. It makes the whole system manageable. This design solved the problems that I set out to solve. So that's the system. Again, tall crops are in the back, further north. The mounds point south. Corn creates the primary cluster, but sunflowers add more structure just in case the weight becomes too heavy. The beans can climb throughout. The squash runs south and cascades over the Hugel mounds into the aisles. The mounds are separated, and the varieties are well organized. Of course, this isn't the traditional 3 sisters. It's a 4 sisters garden, but it's also designed, not just planted. But time will tell. I'll be documenting all of this throughout the harvest. We need to keep an eye on the squash recovery, which honestly, we might have replanted these a little bit too late. We'll show you the bean and sunflower support, the corn development, and ultimately what actually comes out of this bed. If you want to see whether this design delivers, subscribe and follow. And check out our other homesteading videos, like food preservation, land management, and a bunch of other cool projects that we work on throughout the year.